there's been this clip that's been in the ethos the last couple days, and I can specifically say there have been like three people that have tagged me. It was like, y'all gotta talk about this clip. So I'm going to play the clip, and then I want us to react to it raw. We haven't spoken about it beforehand at all. We're just going to let it be. Um, and let me get this thing going.
I got a good job. I make very, very good money. And she says the only thing I need now is a man. It's like, yo, it's like who wants you? Who wants you? You right.
Right.
Like once you have achieved these things, you have unfortunately disqualified yourself.
Ooh,
and
shit.
And what it is these because and this is the thing. I'm not
Ooh,
blaming
the women are gonna hate him for that shit.
No,
Then
no, see, the
they
thing
are
is,
gonna hate him for that.
they should
I can't
love
wait to
it.
put this shit out.
All right, I'm gonna leave the who wants you alone first. I'm gonna go with the once you've achieved these things, you've disqualified yourself. I think that is a ridiculous statement, bro. As someone who is, married to a black woman, someone who has, black female children, I want them to work hard to accomplish whatever it is they want to accomplish and not feel that they're detracting from someone by having their own ambition and trying to achieve their own accomplishments. It is crazy to me that any man would think that someone being successful and driven is a disqualifying factor from finding companionship in a male. And I'm just speaking as a heterosexual male. Whenever relationship you're in, to have that feeling that if I do well, I'm disqualifying myself from romance, that doesn't even add up. To me, it doesn't even make sense. Like, and it sends the wrong message, bro, because everybody, I'm a movement by myself and I'm a force when we're together. You make me better, all of that stuff. Like, we can't sing those songs and be like, she's my queen, and then at the same time saying that you're achieving too much. Like, either she's making you better or she's not. And making you better shouldn't mean her making herself worse. And that's what that clip sounded like in the context that I just heard it. To me, that's wild, yo. That's a crazy statement right there. You've disqualified yourself by your success. That's wild.
I've never heard of a relationship glass ceiling, and I think it's ridiculous. And let me break down a few ways.
You said
Some of the
relationship glass ceiling?
glass ceiling, because
Yeah.
in the corporate glass ceiling, right, there's women can only get but so high, and at that
Yeah.
point you're not going to break that space. So it's like the further context in that clip, it talk more about how he may not be speaking for himself, but he's speaking for a body of men that he knows. And because when women are achieving in that ballpark, when they make good money and they have their own home and they have all these things going for them, that may make them feel like they don't need you. And he mentioned verbatim, he's like, that at that point, she's looking for a Robin. She don't need a Batman. That is purely ego. And not only is it ego, but it's like toxic. Like, you want someone to depend on you. I can't stand on my own too, with my lady also being a breadwinner type of toxicity. This is some of the highest levels of bitch assery that I've heard in my life. I can't really get down and I couldn't be friends with homeboy. How do I know that you're going to be treating other people in your life, if you treat your wife like that or your potential partner, you're like, nah, she make 130. I can't. She going to be too demanding.
Well, then
What?
they're going to be sizing your pockets. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of person that's going to be. But I will say, it threw me off when I heard it. I was like, whoa, this dude just jumped off the boat. Like, you just wilded out. And you definitely, if you're not married, you cut your supply water line clean off. Dry, as they say, you dried up the box with that statement. And then if you are, when you get in the crib, like, you might get a side eye or some type of comment like, well, what you think about me? Or whether, like, you don't know how that's going to play out. I don't know the dude, like, more power to him. But I will say, I agree with Cleveland in the sense that to say you disqualify yourself is nonsense. It's, the phrase is get in where you fit in. Obviously, you don't fit in, so then you can't get in. That's just what it is. But I will say there is something about women that they don't they're not disqualified, but they might you might not be in their arena of choice.
Right. You don't fit.
But it's all financial. Like you might be the guy willing to be okay with the breadwinner wife or girl, whatever, and be like, hey, I'm with it. Let's do it. And y'all might make a perfect match, a perfect like teamwork, make the dream work situation. But you may not even get the chance to because they may look down on you.
Hold on. I know where you're going, but I think that's a different conversation because
No,
that
it
is
is.
But speaking of homeboy, like his perspective, meaning that she can't. It's monetary. She
Don't nobody
can't
want
make-
her. Yeah.
She's used goods. Now let's pause. Let's stop for a second because now let's bring it to our real lives. We all know women, high achieving, very strong work ethics, a super solid personality, has all the things that a strong man would want, but they may have trouble finding love, right? Now, with that narrative out there of the clip that I just played, and what y'all have been seeing, what is the disconnect? Why does that disconnect even exist at the level at which it does?
I think partly because of where Zoe was heading. I think he himself, like, it sounds like he may have experienced some kind of rejection from a
He as in the
successful woman.
dude, not Zoe,
The
y'all,
dude,
not Zoe.
the dude.
Because you connected it too close.
I was saying in the spirit of what you were talking about of like men
Okay.
being disqualified by
Now,
the
Zoe-
women because
Yo,
they were.
that was your. It's never too late.
Y'all know I'll be throwing y'all under the bus. Don't do that, yo. Y'all know I don't do that to y'all.
We got a whole CDL the way he driving this bus.
Nah, I would never do that to y'all. No, but like I think it's a thing where he may have been rejected by a successful woman in the past, and maybe he's carrying that with him. So his idea is successful women don't really quote unquote need a man. So I'm going to say this, like, this is my outlook on how successful women think. Here's the thing though, when it comes to that term need, right? Like,
You shouldn't need anybody.
nobody needs, like, exactly. I shouldn't need you to survive. I shouldn't need you to get by. You want to be desired. I want you to want me until you feel like you need me, right? But I don't want you to need me.
But talk about what type of man needs a woman to need him at the level that
That's
not
a low
just
self-esteem.
emotionally-
That's
not just emotionally, financially.
Exactly. So
Talk
That's
about
low
that, like,
self-esteem
because-
that's low self-esteem and controlling. You have a control issue.
we are black men. We are black men,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I know that people are gonna be listening to this. Like, I want y'all to like talk about the psyche that exists for men like that. Now, we may not be men like that.
Well, yeah,
But-
we can only talk about so far because we don't have that psyche, so I can't really like.
But
I can
but
see
we
we've
have-
known
but
guys
we
like
know
that.
people like that.
Yeah,
We have locker room access, so to speak.
Correct.
We are flies
Correct.
on the wall. So people want to know, without dry snitching, why does that? What the fuck is that?
All right, Steve Harvey.
Stop. You've been here before.
Give out the
It's
book.
definitely low
Yeah.
self-esteem, bro. It's definitely a bit of insecurity and low self-esteem.
I'm on
Like-
team insecurity for sure.
Because it's like if I'm not the top earner, if I'm not the most ambitious person within the relationship, then that must mean that she's better than me. That's what you think. You think that women that succeed on that level are better than you, and you don't want to feel like somebody's better than you and within a relationship, so
Or
you
you're
don't want that
equal.
type of woman.
Or you're equal.
That's another thing, bro. Like, I got to be superior.
Yes,
And I
like
not superior with internal qualities. I gotta make more money. I gotta have a better title. I gotta drive a better,
superior.
superficially superior, bro.
got to be superficially
Well,
superior.
let me throw this in there. I agree with what y'all saying. I do, for an ounce of devil's advocate, so to speak.
Let's go for it.
There is a, we all not all stereotypes are true, but they come from some truth, right?
Okay.
There's some type like, or else it wouldn't exist. You can't say a group of people something without like there is some type of statistical data, whether it's
Right.
experience data or like depending on the subject matter, that says okay, this type of people have a high propensity to do this, and maybe in his arena where he's from, whether he may have experienced or know that or is believing the stereotype that exists that like he don't want to be on the end of the argument that you ain't shit, you get your punk ass. Like you don't want to be on that receiving. That's a lot of men are groomed to be leaders, maybe for various reasons. Like as we say, like to lead the household and this, that, and the third. By other, like if you had a man teach you stuff like that, but it's some type of subconscious thing where you're like, you ain't going to kick me out, or you ain't going to tell me I ain't
I'm gonna keep it
something.
real. I'm gonna keep it real. I think this is a Zophir. So for the listeners, right, there are certain Zophirs.
What?
I'm gonna tell you, like Zoe, but both Zoe and Cleveland, they had one fear about being in college. The only fear they had was that they would be walking with food in the middle of the cafeteria and they would trip and fall.
That
No
was his
fear.
biggest fear.
That is not
true.
rational. Nobody
Nobody thinks about that.
Exactly, and I think this is another one of those like, with your broke ass. And
It's
if y'all
exactly
have a home,
No, I'm not the only one. Time out.
It's exactly that.
With the fall in the calf, me and Cleveland, okay, we the only ones because we seen that. But
seen it too
with your
many
broke
times.
ass, that is not. We're not on an island with that one. That is you can ask a group of. Go in a couple of barbershops. I'm telling you, bro. They're not trying to hear that with your bro. Like that argument because it's just thrown out there unnecessarily. Like, what does that have to do with who ain't take the chicken out? Like, why I got to be that? Like, I'm not
How
mad.
we
I
get
forgot.
there?
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like things like that actually happen in real life and two people.
Yeah.
And maybe like you said, they pass it along or harbor it, and then his reaction is something like that. I'm okay with not being the breadwinner. I'm waiting to be a stay-at-home dad. I'll be like, ladies, you want to pop for this new gig? Let's get it, yo. I'm trying. Like, I'm set. I could cook. I could do, you know what I mean? I'm like OCD. The house gonna be fresh. Like, what's
I
up?
mean,
But
there's only but so much that can be said about this dumbass statement. But for shits and giggles, let's go around and say, if that was said in your presence, right? We chilling at the crib. That was said in your presence. As a man, as your boy, Cleveland, how do you respond?
I would have to completely disqualify that line of thinking. And I think, honestly, knowing me, right? I just have to speak personally. I would wonder who hurt you. Like, who did this to you? Honestly, that
You would
comes
know.
from a place of hurt. When you hear something that at face value doesn't make any sense, like you got to consider like where have you been hurt? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? On some real stuff. And if this wasn't a person who was my friend, I would have to explore that. Like, bro, like, what Cindy do to you, bro? Like, I know it was
Right.
Cindy because Cindy made
Right.
mad money and y'all broke up, so it had to be Cindy. You
And,
know
I,
what
and
I
I
mean?
know you were still working at the school.
Yeah,
So
you were still
you know
trying
what I
to get
mean?
your life together, like you know what I mean. But maybe she was just immature. Like I would have to address like to me the root of it is like who hurt you, honestly.
Because Cleveland gonna remember that one time and that homeboy came to him talking about Cindy talking about showing like janitors.
yo, but can I tell y'all, Cleveland will do exactly how he just described. Like he will ask you, like you'll be in the car, and that's usually like a car conversation. So he like, and he be like, yo. What makes you like? Where's that come from? And that who like? That's not right. Me, how I would answer it, like Var said, chances are you know what happened or you know where it came from. I and anybody in the chapter knows. I'm probably gonna throw it in your face. Like man, you just saying that because like that's just me because that's so crazy and so outrageous that I'm going to have to address you, but I'm going to like go in like yo wait time out say that again. I'm like yo you out of your damn mind. That's me. Everybody know me, and I'm gonna be like, "Yo, you just saying that because she told you because she took the car back when your ass like y'all know how I do." I'm just saying. You asked me a
just saying
truthful
that 'cause-
question.
You just saying that because Cindy said your check missing a zero. That's why you saying that.
Right. all of a sudden your girl get a new car that you can't afford. Now you tight.
Yeah, because she told you what to do. Bring my shit back.
Yo, if somebody says that to you, that is a huge blow to the ego, bro.
Or bring my
Like,
shit back. But
They
Yeah.
sunned you. They sunned you because
They
that's like
literally
really
sunned
shit.
you.
if you have anything of anybody's and they said bring my shit back, I want to fight.
Wait a minute, bro.
know
All
it's
right,
yours.
let's explore this other side. Really, we
Go
got to
ahead.
keep going
Go
down this
ahead.
other side a little bit.
Okay.
Because I'm not standing up for my man, but I'm saying I have experienced men that think like that, and I've also experienced women who
You
get
had it
in
with your
relationships
broadcast?
like I never got that, but I got the little
You're not
the
gonna
little
say it. You're not gonna
jabs.
say it.
Not well, it's not with the person I'm with now, but like
No,
I
I just wanna
did
hear
get
the
a
person.
little like, oh, I own my own house. Oh, you still renting? Yada yada yada.
Oh,
Bro, I'm telling you, this kind of stuff exists.
Look,
So
yo, I could have bought Little
it's not
House on the
too-
Prairie too, bitch. Shut up.
yo,
It's not
my
too
gut-
far fetched, bro.
My gut reaction when he finished, he said, "You still written." A word was about to come out of my mouth that I don't even say.
Wait,
You was about to tuck your lips in and say it too. Say it man hard.
shut the fuck up.
What?
Who is you?
Bro,
Yo,
but I'm telling you, there is like this thing that like some women, I would never say all women, some women, when they're more successful than their significant other, when things get thick, they like to throw that little thing out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I paid for dinner last night. Like I offered to
I
split
ain't
it.
the one that keep failing these interviews.
yeah.
I'm telling you, bro.
But also, you know what it is too? I would tell you this. If you're the dude, this is advice to the dudes out there that are with high powered women that let's say the guys aren't making the same or more. Just do your part, bro. If you can still be the organizer, the planner, the whatever. You just using her bread, but who cares? You still coordinating, organizing, planning. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, just because you got money don't mean you know what to do with it. You know what I mean? A
Bro,
lot of people are terrible with bread. What you about to say?
No, the way you said that, like, be the organizer, be the person that does things. I mean, you still using her bread, but you know, like, say it like that, though.
I'm just saying, so
But listen. Middle
I mean, you
class
using her money, but
middle class dudes be fucking up. Middle class dudes be fucking up because broke dudes play their part. Broke dudes can always get a
Sometimes.
woman that's making bread and like
oh yeah.
rock her world, right? Like you night man. You just come through. You got a place to sleep, and you got some food in your stomach. The dude that got bread, he know how to take care of himself. It be the niggas in the middle that be trying to act funny, like
But middle class always getting screwed in everything, whether it's tuition, or because we not broke enough to get assistance, but you ain't got enough to really afford
for
the shit.
sure.
Like, so is middle class is if you're a middle class guy too, like I think I heard some comedian somewhere say that because like if you a broke dude, you always get these chicks that because I used to say, yo, where's these girls at that like dudes be getting cars and clothes? I'm like, yo, I never had a girl buy me nothing. Like, where does this happen at? Like,
You was
I don't
too
see these
successful.
people.
you
I don't
too
see these
proud.
people.
No, you
I'm
was
not
too
that
successful.
proud.
You was too
You got-
successful. If you
got-
made a
you
lot
got
less
your own
money,
car.
no, that's the
Yeah.
thing. If you made a lot less money and you ain't had no job and you play video games all day, I am 99% sure you would find that kind of woman.
Like, because, so
If you
what
was
is
bringing
it that,
box wine and the whammy to the crib instead of like
That's all you
driving your
need.
own car, just box wine and the whammy. That's it.
that's it, you ain't holding it down, the
And a
power
mixtape.
hours.
You got to
That's
be
it.
about to
Hours.
record a mixtape, and you
It gotta be that, yo, because we be too tired. Like we working, nigga. You got all the energy to bust a couple rounds down. Like I'm tired, nigga. I just did a 40 stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't got time for you.
That's his currency. His currency is the whammy and the box wine. Like I'm gonna keep you regulated. I'm gonna keep you happy. But I have to say this before we wrap up. I can probably name like 5, 6 genuine women who are high achievers, make really great money, who want love, have the house, has the car, has the career, but the only thing that they're missing is love. And for some reason have not been able to find that. So in my mind, in my world, there are way more women like that than there are of with your broke ass. So
Yeah.
I'm in. I see it. I empathize. I can't understand it, and attractive women too. And it's just like when you hear
Bad jokes.
things like this that go viral,
I got a
it
question.
makes me understand why I have friends that are pretty powerful, got all the things, and are single.
Yeah, and I have a question to go with that, right? So I sent this to a good friend of mine, ours that you know, and this is the homie. We converse frequently, and she shares her like odd dating stories. Like, yeah, like I'm like, yo, what? How? Like, why? Like, my reaction to these things, like, these people exist? Like, where you be finding these people at? Stuff like that. And a lot of it is just stupid stuff that they say, like, on the date or some wild shit. I'm like, dang, I would never. But I've had, not really, we've had our back and forth, like, tennis match. And, like, yo, I'm like, I feel like I'm almost telling her to downgrade her expectation, which I'm not really trying to do. I'm not telling you to downgrade your expectation, but her expectation financially of trying to meet, it's like weird. It's like you're not putting, if you're
She
not
making
putting
that kind of
yourself in
money?
those, yeah, a lot of good money. And if you're not putting yourself in those arenas with other people like that, then you have to teeter, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't,
You got to
you
be in the
you
spaces where the people
that's what I'm
who are high
saying.
earners are.
That's what I mean. So you can't expect, like, I'm gonna pull a rabbit out of a hat, but you don't got no hat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not
No,
even looking
right.
in a hat store. You looking
But it's not.
somewhere else.
It's not even a rabbit.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, yo, and so that's what I want to know. Like, the question is like, am I wrong, or should we be telling them? Because it's not. My thing is, as a person who's in a situation who is married, you know what I'm saying? And I
Oh, so you
know
better
I
clean
don't.
that up.
No, listen. I don't expect these people to be projects, like, fix people up. Like, a lot of times that's the situation. You think you could fix somebody up. But I do know that there are genuine people who just don't make certain, they are good people. They are teachers, they are janitors, garbage men, you know what I mean, or women, depending, these people, these essential workers, so to speak. Because all essential workers, we learned the whole last 2 years how essential workers are and what they are. And we also learned that a lot of them don't make a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So are they not good people for you to talk to, or to,
You
like,
gotta
go
you
that
gotta
arena?
you gotta ask the question. Ask the question.
That is the, like, are we telling you to lower, is that lowering your standard? Are we telling you that they're not, or like, how? Because I think you're missing a whole population of good people that would treat you right and do everything right by you, because you're putting a dollar amount on that.
Yes and no. They are missing out, but sometimes it's just a matter of, you know how they say your network is your net worth. When I was broke, I thought it was some bullshit, and now I don't. You have to kind of be around. Now you have to kind of be around people who are in similar situations like you, right? For me, my situation was different. You know what? It wasn't different. I found my fiance in graduate school. That's a place where everybody is looking to elevate, right? You're looking to go from where you are now and to get more resources to go somewhere else. That's the equivalent. Some people meet their partners at church, right? You have a spiritual foundation, right? She might need to go to the bank. Me or
But
man.
that's what I was saying. Like, but everything you're saying is like, people. The whole thing I'm trying to explain to these people is like, yo, a relationship. The best one's you building something together. You're growing something together. Like you said,
Nobody's
you're in
tailor made for
grad
you
school.
off the street.
That's what I'm just trying to articulate to these individuals. And it's like, you just said church. Okay, so y'all have a spiritual growing together. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Grad school, we have both are going career growth together. It could be anything, something, you find something that y'all can grow together, and that'd be like y'all path. It
You
doesn't
know what?
necessarily have to be.
You know what? If you are still listening, it's Women's History Month, right? I think we need to have an Ask Jux. We need to have an Ask Jux, right? If you don't want to be on camera, cool. You can just be your voice. You just ask questions about how we feel about certain things, because it makes me think, though. sometimes one man is not enough to convey a message as to like, that's just how you think. Yada yada yada. I know best, but you're not. You don't. So, ladies, if you're listening, you want to be on the pod, you want to talk about relationship things, you got relationship questions, you want to talk to the four hubbies in the possible, hit us up in our DMs, Juxtaposition.Pod on Instagram. We can have an Ask Jux section and just talk about things because we are literally folks who found our people in various ways. And I honestly would be interested, Zoe, to see if your friend would be one of the people who want to have that conversation. Because I think it would be cool. I think it would be cool.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we got a couple of friends though. You know that, Var, that we've had these countless conversations for decades at this point.
And in these days, and I had this conversation with Cleveland some time ago, we don't need to shy away from the word expert, right? You are an expert in your own domain. Your wife is not the first woman you have wooed and got to fall in love with you. So there is certain expertise that we all have and we all occupy from our experience. But if I'm being honest, us three right here, and I'm sure both Kev and James can empathize, we all have similar aspects as to how we were attracting our partners. And those are the commonalities that I think women who are who are high achieving but might be single and may be missing some pieces about how to make it happen could stand to benefit from if they're okay with that. So ask Jux, man. This is the month of March. If y'all want to talk to us, hit us up in the DM on Instagram, and we can get this conversation going.
Yes, sir.